We want to focus now on the humanitarian situation in Gaza. The United Nations says thousands of Palestinians have fled south towards Rafah in recent days, and it describes the small city on the border with Egypt as a, quote, pressure cooker of despair. Now, Rafah, as you can see there from these pictures, has become a tent city. More than 1 million people, about half of Gaza's population, are crammed into just such a small sliver of land, living in makeshift tents, which are cold, damp, and very difficult to live in. Another critical issue, according to the UN, significant levels of acute malnutrition among children. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza, meantime, says more than 27,000 people have been killed since Israel's response to the October 7th attacks began.
I think that is the icon of the level of violence and where the situation has gone, where humanitarian workers have no protection, hospitals are hit. The humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip is beyond catastrophic and literally desperate.
Time now for the exchange. For more on the dire humanitarian situation in Gaza, we want to bring in Jan Egeland. He is the Secretary General of the Norwegian Refugee Council and a former UN Undersecretary for Humanitarian Affairs. He joins us now from Oslo, Norway. Good to have you. And I have to say, we have all run out of adjectives to actually describe this situation. We do have a deal apparently now on the table to at least consider, but it seems we are still very far away from a true ceasefire here. How badly do Gazans need some kind of a truce at this moment?
They need it immediately. I mean, there is no more time for the civilian population in Gaza. Never elsewhere in recent history has so many people been so crammed together in such a small space under such a bombardment for so many days. It's 4 months now, and these women and children who are now crammed together in Rafah in the south, it's well over 1 million people who fled there. There were only 300,000 people there to start with. These people are afraid that what will happen to them is what happened to the north, where, you know, homes are in ruins. 350,000 housing units are destroyed or badly damaged.
So yeah, even rebuilding at this point would be, you know, quite a feat, let alone just trying to get what you need to live on, water and food every day. If we do get some type of a pause, a truce, even something that falls short of a full ceasefire, what's needed on the ground? How do you scale up at this hour if you can get in there to meet the dire needs?
Well, any pause would be good, but only a lasting ceasefire can be what really helps us to help across Gaza. We have such a backlog now of aid that has not come in to Gaza. I just checked the figures today. I mean, the US, Germany, United Kingdom, European Union said that they would be able to fix humanitarian aid access to Gaza months ago. It's still 100, 150 trucks at best per day. We need more than 500 trucks. The backlog are like 50,000 trucks loads of aid. And movement inside Gaza is nearly impossible for the civilian population and also for us as humanitarian workers. So only a ceasefire that ends this senseless violence can really enable us to save lives across that little strip of land.
Understood. A Band-Aid just won't work at this point in time, especially as it's been so long. I want to ask you, a top Israeli general tells CNN that there is no plan in place yet as to how to minimize civilian deaths in Rafah if Israel chooses to expand again into that border town. What will happen, do you believe, if Israel does decide to pursue Hamas militants in that border town?
If they do to Rafah, what they've done to Khan Yunis and Gaza City and elsewhere, it will be a bloodbath. And among children and women, among the innocent. So I cannot see that the United States that provides the arms to this, that the other European countries that provides the arms to this bombardment on a civilian population, where truly, yes, these reckless militants have blended into the civilian population, but that does not in any way justify indiscriminate attacks on women and children. This cannot be allowed to happen. It will be a bloodbath, and it will be a stain on the conscience, not only of Israel, but on Israel's allies.